Happy Friday, FanDuelers, and welcome to another episode of Grade A Fantasy. Today is the weekly show where we'll do my Grade A picks, where I pick a few spots on the schedule for week 3 on FanDuel Sportsbook, and hopefully, if you see this video, you can get to these picks before the odds change. And of course, after like 2 or 3 picks, I'll do my best to give you 2, maybe even 3, what I feel are winnable underdogs to help you boost your parlay odds. So let's get this video started. Normally it's a few. Most of the time you get like 3, 4 to 5 picks max. So let's get this short video on the road. All right. So first off, for my 3 top bets, I'm gonna go KC. Right now it's at -5.5. You getting -110 on those odds against the Colts. Look, the Colts are pretty much a mess right now. Patrick Mahomes is shredding anything in front of him, whether if you play him straight up, if you make him play patient, and take everything underneath, even if you try to slow him down. Right now, it's not working against Patrick, and right now the Colts are not the team, not even at home. I know that home crowd is gonna be doing their best to make a lot of crowd noise in that dome, but right now they're just not playing that well. And let's not forget one thing too. This will probably even be a stronger bet if KC was at home. But that defense, even though if it's not the best defense in the world, they do have some good edge rushers that can get to a statuesque Matt Ryan. Right now, that offensive line is just in disarray. So I really think, even though KC is going to put up some points, I really think it's the defense that's could create a turnover, maybe get a fumble recovery, maybe even an interception return, but they're going to turn over Matt Ryan in that offense at least twice in this game. So they'll definitely be the ones that will preserve KC giving 5.5, because I think, going against KC, you're going to start chucking the ball to at least try and catch up. Now, I don't believe the Colts are going to win, but chucking the ball could definitely hurt your odds with a -5.5 saying KC's going to win by a touchdown or more. So pretty much, but I do believe KC's defense will hold them off. KC -5.5, 110 odds against the Colts. Second pick, I'm going with the Saints, -152 going against Carolina. They'll definitely be the favorite if they was on. Like I said, they'll definitely be the favorite. Same thing with KC if they were at home. But even with all the injuries with Jameson, Kamara battling like rib injuries. Like I said, one of the guys that I said that I felt that was going to come back with a vengeance and be ready, Michael Thomas has played well. The offensive line has played well. Most importantly, that defense is solid. Right now, Carolina just can't figure things out. Baker's not meshing well. There's a lot of new pieces that are not meshing well yet with their new teams, but right now that Carolina situation is looking pretty bad. Defense is not what it was the last couple of years. So I really think the Saints could, this might going to turn into an ugly slugfest, but I think the defense of the Saints pretty much helps the Saints take this. So Saints money line -152. And if you go to my notes for Grade A Fantasy just the other day, I'm telling you they're not ready to give Christian McCaffrey the full load. So I don't know. And right now, like I said, they're not just really using that guy. Even though he's not getting a full load, they're not using him the right way. Maybe they'll get that figured out. I mean, could they get it figured out at home? Yeah, possibly. But if they're not ready to give Christian McCaffrey the full load yet, and they're giving him days off of practice to not overwhelm him because they know how much they need him, but it's just not adding. Everything is not just adding up together. So right now, I definitely feel comfortable with Saints money line -152. Another favorite money line pick of mine, it will be Atlanta. Atlanta money line is -104. I think originally, if I remember earlier in the week, I remember that line. That game is damn near pick 'em because you're either giving Atlanta one, or you're giving excuse me, you're even giving Atlanta one or Seattle one. Now the game's in Seattle. That originally Atlanta was a slight underdog. I think like +128. That has moved to 104. I remember that line being different a couple of days ago. So before that line continues to move and people start drinking the Kool Aid on Atlanta. I'm starting to drink the Kool Aid now because I thought they were going to be the worst team, and I'm totally wrong on that. Uh, like yo, they got the guys that are just producing, and Mariota's doing a good job at QB. I will give him that. Defense is definitely overachieving. That's for sure. I didn't expect the defense to be at least this decent to good. Seattle's not really like moving the ball, playing well. This will be definitely a Rashard Penny game, and hopefully Geno Smith hits somebody deep. But I think Atlanta definitely has what it takes to take it on the road. So before this changes even more, they give maybe it moves up to 120, maybe 130 by Sunday morning. Take Atlanta, try and get them at minus 104. So my two top dogs. Once again, I got two. I started week one with one and two, whatever. But there's two underdogs that I'm gonna give you guys. My first top dog. Get this before this moves too, because these are two technically ugly teams, but one I think is technically way better than the other. And I'm taking Houston +3. I think it's great either way. You can either take Houston money line, which is +128, or if you feel the Bears could actually sneak away this one at home, then you and this game is going to be close. Like Bears offense is not explosive, and to me, out of the whole thing, the only competent player on this team in this whole game, offense wise, is Brandon Cooks, and then a far 2 and 3 would be Houston's quarterback Davis Mills, and then hopefully they give the ball against Damon Pierce because he did look decent when they actually gave him the opportunity. And Lovie Smith did say they was going to give him the ball. They gave him the ball more. And a little icing on the cake, like I said, I'm going for narrative. Lovie Smith going back to Chicago, he's going to want that win even more. So, I mean, there's just more talent on Houston no matter what you say. And that's another overachieving defense. I thought Houston would at least be better than Atlanta. Because, like I said, originally I had Atlanta being the worst team. But Houston is overachieving. That defense is playing well. So, I think with a very primitive offense in Chicago, I think Houston definitely has enough grit. They're going to have the motivation to do it for their coach. And they have enough firepower. Because, like I said, Mills is going to wing that ball down the field when he can. And the secondary for the Bears is not good. It is just not good. And that defense is not what that defense used to be. What you think of a Chicago defense anyway. So I think you can go either way. If you feel that the Bears can win this, and like I said, this is going to be one of those other games where they'll probably win it close. Take Houston +3. Me, I think Houston's winning this game outright. +128 on the money line for the Bears. I mean for Houston. And then my second dog, look, it's not favoritism, not because it's my team, but I'm gonna give you a good reason here. This is gonna be a very close game. I think it's gonna be a real good game too. Not gonna be a shootout, not gonna be a 17-14, not gonna be an ugly game, but I think it's gonna be a good mid-range game. It's gonna be a 27-20. It's gonna be a 27-20, 27-24, 24-23, one of those kind of games where it's just enough to keep you entertained. I'm gonna take the Broncos money line at home. I think they're the only home. I think if I remember properly, they're the only home underdog. If I remember properly. Oh, one of the few. That's not true. One of the few home underdogs. But what they giving DC Man +108. Here's why. 49ers are looking real good because Kittle will be making the season debut. Number 2, they got the guy that makes their offense move even more, Jimmy Garoppolo. You still got Debo, Ayuk. Having Garoppolo back there makes Ayuk, Kittle, and Debo even better. And of course, the 49ers do have a solid defense. But here's the thing. I understand everybody's happy that Jimmy G got that spot, and yes, saying the 49ers are lucky to keep him. But it was just last year that maybe people like me, yeah, he's okay, but he's not good enough to take them to the promised land. We was all just saying that. Let's not forget that we all thought he was going to be gone anyway. Organizations got to move on to their quarterback because you spend a high pick on him. But there's a lot of us out there that know that Jimmy G is okay. He's no scrub. But just last year, we were all thinking that, Jimmy G got to go. He's not good enough. Some of y'all was comparing him to a slightly better, Jared Goff? Okay quarterback on a really good team, but can't do enough for that team. So, Jared Goff is gone. You got Matthew Stafford. You want to get rid of Jimmy G because you had this up-and-coming rookie, but, a rookie gets hurt again. He's the better passer. He can help move the ball down the field. But this is still Jimmy G that we was all making fun of and talking about last year. People forget. Well, people know now. even as a Bronco fan, they can move the ball. Their inside the 20 offense is horrible. They're not scoring well in the red zone at all. So they can move the ball up and down the field. They got the talent to. Yes, my squad is a little dinged up by wide receiver. But here's the thing though. Nobody's talking about the defense. Broncos have a top 5 ranked defense. In 2 games, we still haven't given up a total of 30 points. That's still something. And if you keep it in a close game like this, yes, it goes on both ends. But when you're in the mile high air, and the Broncos defense can maybe get a turnover off Jimmy G and move it with Javonte Williams and kick these field goals and maybe get a little more aggressive scoring down at home, I think the Broncos can squeeze out a tight victory. So if anything for me, Broncos money line. People forget, even though that offense is struggling, that defense has kept them in the game. That is a Super Bowl caliber defense that Denver has. So yes, they got the gadgets and gadgets with Debo in the backfield, reverse sweeps and swings and everything. And yes, it's a big thing for Kittle to make a season debut. But here's also another thing. Once again, some of y'all may not trust Jimmy G. Like I said, he's better than the Rook, okay, or second year or Trey Lance. But like I said, this is still Jimmy G. Number 2, Kittle's coming back. He's also not going to get a full workload. He'll work most of his workload, but not the whole thing. But the Broncos defense and passing in the air, plus solid run defense, like the Broncos defense will hold down for the 49ers. Now, I don't think they're going to shut them down to under 14, maybe even 17 points, but, maybe around 2021 or whatever the case is, and Broncos can move the ball enough to, create some offensive opportunities. And like I said, I think they can get a couple of turnovers off Jimmy G. So for another dog, you don't have to take the dog, but that's what I see as in the best 2 dogs. And what's better than at least a somewhat talented dog at home? On the road, maybe a little bit of different story, but Broncos at home. If Broncos were on the road, I probably wouldn't have not taking them. But Broncos at home, and with nice plus 108 odds, that adds up to a nice little parlay if you put it all together. So, to recap my grade A picks, KC given 5.5 against the Colts, minus 110. Saints money line, minus 152. Atlanta money line, minus 104. Get on that one. That's moving. And my 2 top dogs, or my 2 grade A dogs, would be 2 ways for Houston. You can go Houston plus 3, which is minus 115. Plus 128 money line, better odds. And Broncos plus 108. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Good luck this weekend in Sportsbook. Good luck for people who are playing in fantasy as well, or whatever other sports games, whether you're on DraftKings, Yahoo, whatever the case is. But for my FanDuelers, good luck set up your lineup. That's what I'll be doing for the rest of the night. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Like I said, it's a growing YouTube channel. It's gonna grow slowly, but I'll be doing my best to at least, with my schedule, 2 or 3 videos a week. And I guess after this, it'll be a week 3 recap video and a week 4 preview. So once again, good luck. Get those lineups in. Pay attention to the news. There's still a lot going on. And good luck this weekend. Grade A Fantasy, signing off.